Hi, this is David Orlofsky, and welcome to the Parsha in 5, where in 5 minutes we try to give you a little idea about the Parsha. We're in Vayikra now, deepest, darkest Vayikra. Right? The stories are starting to end. We punctuate stories from here on in, but they're certainly not like Parshas and Shmos, where they are permeated. Yeah, they're punctuated. And we come to Parshas Shmini, and we start to get into Tumah, right? And we're going to continue Shmini, Tazria, Mitzorah, a lot of Tumah and Tara. So we have something that seems extremely esoteric, and that is the din of Makshirin. You do Chumash and Rashi, you'll see the big, long Rashi over there by Makshirin, which tells me the following. And I always bring this as an example of how everything that we learn has to be relevant to our life. Yeah, what Rav Noach Weinberg used to call Toras Chaim. Whatever we learn, or as Rav Moshe Shapiro said, Lilmad Amanas La'asais, whatever we learn, no matter how esoteric it may seem, has to turn into a lemaisa in our life. So there's the concept of Makshirin. What does that mean? Apples are growing on the tree and something tameh falls on them. Do they become tameh? No. Why? Because they're attached to the ground. Okay, I take the fruit off and I put them into a basket and something tameh falls on top of them. Are they tameh? No, because they first have to become wet. Okay, I left them outside and the dew fell on them. Are they now ready to become tameh? No, it has to be intentionally. Okay, I pick all of my grapes and then I pour orange juice all over them. Does that make them now ready to become tameh? No. Only 7 liquids, which are known by the mnemonic device Yad Shochat Dam, which stands for Yayin, wine, Dvash, honey, Shin is shemen, oil, yeah, Ches is chalav, milk, Tes is tal, dew, Mem is mayim, water, and the last dalet is dam, which is blood. If they did not become wet with one of these 7 liquids intentionally, they will never become tameh. Yeah. Rabbi Mordechai Kornfeld, who is the head of the Daf Yomi Institute, I saw him once at Ma'ariv, and he said to me, nothing is a coincidence. Everything is connected in Torah, which is true. If there are 7 mashkim and there are 7 holidays, then they must correspond. And right on the spot, we work to put them together. Since then, I've did this over to Talmidei Chachamim, and they always add another knach to it. But I'll tell it to you b'kitzur because this is only the Parsha in 5. Yeah? And that is, what do they correspond to? Well, Pesach corresponds to blood, obviously. B'damai chayi, but the blood you shall live, the blood of the Korban Pesach, the blood of the Bris Milah, yeah? So that's dam. Water, that's obviously sukkos, right? We pour water on the Mizbeach, we daven for rain, yeah. Rosh Hashanah is honey. Dip the apple in the honey, have a sweet new year, right? Dvash, mamtik the din, to sweeten the din, yeah. Purim, wine, obviously. Says the Avudraham, why do we drink wine on Purim? Because all of the story took place with wine. All the Nisim were with wine. Hanukkah, oil, right? Shemen Zayis. Yeah, they found the oil. We eat foods cooked in oil, you know, all the different things associated with oil. Shavuos, obviously, is milk, right? Just like a baby is sustained by milk, so too the Jewish people are sustained by Torah, which is compared to milk. Chalav is 40 in Gematria, 40 days, etc. Yeah. That leaves Tal, dew, and that corresponds to Yom Kippur because Tal is the Tchias HaMesim, and we're like Malachim, and the Mun, which is called Lechem Abirim, the food of Malachim, came wrapped in Tal, etc. The point over here, and every one of these is a shir unto itself. I'm saying it here, Mamish B'Kitzur. But just to teach you that when you come to Vayikra and you read things that you think are obscure, understand that nothing that we learn is irrelevant to our lives. Everything has direct meaning to us. And if you look at it, you will be able to see it in the greater depth. That's how we have to look at it. I've told the story before that Rav Moshe Shapiro, someone asked him, how'd you become Rav Moshe Shapiro? And he said, I watched Rav Dessler saying a chazal over to himself 40, 50 times, and I realized the depth that's in a chazal if you take the time to look for it. Alachas kama v'kama, the depth of everything in Torah if we take the time to look for it and make it relevant to our lives. Good Shabbos.